Good morning. Good morning. I'm Louise Hi from BeHealing.com. Welcome to Psychic Cafe. Hi, Tim. So, I'm going to be doing some channeling for the collective today in here. Picking some cards out, telling a story, or probably not a story, probably more advice. I think we get more kind of advice-y kind of stuff in here. Anyway, I'm going to be doing that. I'm also going to be doing mini reads as well. If you're on here live with me, or if you're not on here live with me, if you're watching the replay, come along live sometime. You can find it on my YouTube channel, Be Healing. The next show, you can see the next show lined up on there. To find when it is, I do it 3 times a week. But if you are on live, you can check the pinned comment. The comment that's pinned up top. Okay. Technical difficulties. My studio light just fell off. It's losing its stickiness. Meant to be able to wash it. It's meant to be that sticky stuff that you can wash. I don't know how to wash an electrical appliance though without getting the whole thing wet, and they're not waterproof. Anyway, I'll switch it out. Hang on. This is what I'm talking about. Hey, well, you can't see it with that camera. Hang on. The switches on these, focus, tiny little switches like that. The nail breakers is what they are. I've got to use a pen to do it. What terrible switches. Anyway, I'll switch it out for another one. That's not very sticky either. None of them are very sticky. They've all lost the stick. Well, let's try it. I decided to stick it on my phone itself and take the cover off it. Anyway, technical stuff. Hopefully it stays there now. Good morning, Bonnie. Good morning, Maria. Losing its stick. So I'm going to be doing mini reads. If you're on here live with me, check out the pinned comment up top of the live chat. That tells you how to do it. There's a PayPal link in there. And you can also use Super Chat Super Sticker here on YouTube if you want. And after you've done your donation, if you've got a question to ask for your mini read, put a capital Q at the start of your comment with your question in, just so that I can find it more easily. Use soap and water on a paper towel. Gently wipe it clean. Okay, I'll give that a go. It doesn't feel like the kind of sticker that you can wash. That's the thing. I washed one of them in that same kind of way, and it made no difference. So I'm just wondering, I don't know, I'm going to have to read up on them because they're meant to be washable. Hi, Carrie. We've got immortality out first. Something will not die. Something doesn't seem to be getting resolved. Just still waiting for your offer to be accepted, Maria. My energy update was on point. Asked to work for a new company today. Awesome. Yeah, there's ka-ching money coming in. Oh, okay. Well, that's not working, is it? So I had it on my plastic case before. Maybe I should do that again. Because it's stuck better to the plastic cases. Hang on. Let me try it again. Let's put my phone in the case. See if that helps. Because it's kind of a rubbery case, you know? Rubbery. Let's give that a go. I'll get there in the end. Right, if it falls off again, I'm not putting it back on. Your flat sold subject to contract. Wow, 5,000 more than asking price. That's awesome. Gugon. Gugon sounds good. Yeah. Although I want it to be gooey. Or maybe it's not gooey. Natcha. Natcha's come out. Natcha. Natural. That's what I wanted to say. Natural. This thing that won't die. Natural. It's a natural. Why? Why is it natural? Why is it natural that this thing cannot be resolved, or it's I don't know. It's part of nature. It's a natural conclusion maybe, or things take time. I don't know. Well, let's see. Wearing the same top today because it matches my nails, and I think my nails will be done tomorrow, as in falling apart. They kind of are falling apart. Still hanging on in there. Oh, hair's annoying my face. So, yes, mini reads. I'm doing mini reads too. Now I'm all over fluster because of the camera situation. You going out for a bike ride? Woo, enjoy, Seagulls. I love riding my bike. I need to pump my tyres up. Let's get some tarot. Oh, no, not tarot. Next. Lenormand. I like these Lenormand cards. They're very specific and they do seem to set the stage nicely for what we're about to talk about. Hey, Jessica. Don't they? Do you think so? Lenormand seem to be... I like them. Tree. This is about health. Okay. Wow, COVID is something that doesn't seem to clear up very quickly anyway. It lingers. I'm still not back up to proper fitness because I tried training fast yesterday. It was, I wasn't back up there. I wasn't gasping for air or anything. I wasn't as bad as I was like the first couple of weeks after COVID, but still not the same as I was before, not as fit. Hi, Christine. And then we got the stork. Birth of something new is with regards to health and well-being, the tree. And we also got, what else? Choices. Comes out a lot, doesn't it? Choices. Okay, birth of something new around well-being and health gives us more choices, or some choices around that to birth something new in our health. What else? We're talking about health today. Be careful, guides. It's YouTube. You're not allowed to say anything, apparently. Bear. Some form of protection. Protecting your health. Some form of protection from a man. What? Stop it. Stop falling out. From a man. Funny looking man. And anchor. What's the anchor card? We haven't seen that much, hey? Is that anchoring something in, or is that being stuck? 35. Today I'm wearing rose quartz eyeshadow. You can never cross the ocean until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore, says Andre Gide. To the sailor, the anchor means safe mooring and returning home to security and stability. No, it doesn't. Anchor is what you do temporarily when you're away from home. This card showing a tattoo of an anchor also suggests courage, perseverance, endurance, permanence, and confidence. The anchor card signifies jobs, marriages, and other long-term commitments that come with heavy responsibilities. These life choices mean sacrificing freedom, but they're things that keep us grounded and provide a sense of identity. In a Lenormand reading, the anchor is a positive card that means you've reached your goal. Card is not about fleeting gratification or mundane victories. The anchor is a sign that you've successfully fulfilled your destiny. Okay. Your three little people. Fruit Loops, Cocoa Pops, dolls, trucks, chalk drawing. Ooh, that sounds like fun. So, protection from a man, about long-term commitment, about long-term commitment, which really anchors aren't that at all. It's short-term. You don't use an anchor for a long-term thing. No. You'd have a permanent fixture, like you'd be moored to a void that's connected to a massive lump of concrete on the bottom of the thing. Not just an anchor. Anchors drag, anchors move, anchors aren't home. It's wrong. The Llewllyn card is wrong about that. But we get the message. It's about long-term commitment kind of thing. So the man's doing something to protect. Oh, that's gone. The masculine's doing something to protect long-term kind of stuff. Oh, we've got clouds. What's that? What does clouds mean? Clouds. So there's tourists here now. There's quite a lot of them, in fact. The road's getting a bit crazy again. And they're very young. I said that already, hey? It's making me feel old. They're very young. They look like teenagers to me. They look like they should be at school. Anyway, there's two of them staying next door. They're asleep right now because one of them came back at 2:40. He came back at 2:30 something the night before because he comes back and he's so loud. He talks so loud, but not for very long. He goes to sleep very fast, which is good. And there's two of them sharing, and I don't know. Do mums? I've got some mums in here. Do you close your kids, even when they're adults, curtains for them so that they wouldn't know if they're staying in a room to do it themselves? Because they sleep with the curtains open and it's very weird. That's all I can think is that the mum usually closes the curtains for them. Anyway. So I go out my door and they're right there in the bed and they sleep all day. So all they do is go out. Teenagers. Clouds. If it's cloudy and raining, there are clouds and rain in my soul, says Jerzy Kozinski. So the weather reflects us. Sometimes does, doesn't it? Weather reflecting our mood. This card shows the clouds rising up from a dark cup of coffee or tea. Coffee. Though a cup of tea may be a comforting image, the clouds warn that troubles can occur quite suddenly without warning, like storm clouds appearing on an otherwise pleasant day. Confusion and uncertainty can catch you unaware if your head is in the clouds and you're daydreaming when you should be focused. To attain clarity about an issue, you need to stay mentally grounded rather than allowing your thoughts to drift away. Cloud image. The cloud image warns you not to become lulled into a false sense of security. You need to pay close attention to whatever situations surrounding cards indicate, as they'll likely bring formidable challenges. Sudden troubles, daydreaming, sudden stuff, unwanted stuff. Okay. Oh, a bit dropsy today. Even dropped the top of my toothpaste tube. Other countries don't have screw tops that we still do here. Screw top toothpaste tubes. I dropped the top of it today. Some mornings I just drop stuff. Clouds in your coffee. Oh, we've got heart. Next, okay. Something sudden, uncertain. What else? Or daydreaming. Could be about that. Daydreaming, blah, blah. Fantasizing. I don't believe it's that. The woman was trying to come out before and I didn't take it. Shuffle some more. Maybe they like open spaces. They're just passed out. They haven't moved the position of the curtains at all. burdened. I mean, they've still got the tie things around them when they first got in the room. Tie things, whatever those things are called. Rope things that tie the curtains back. So we've got some fantasy about sudden changes involving the heart, causing a burden or releasing burdens. Some burdens involved there, which kind of, the anchor card, burdens, they go well together, right? Because the anchor is about long-term commitment and stuff, and saying that you lose your freedom. I'm not so sure about that. Good relationship, you wouldn't lose your freedom, would you? Guess you lose some freedoms if you think some freedoms are doing whatever the hell you want. But anyway, that's what we've got. Reading it downwards, so let's go through that again. We've got health and well-being, birth of something new, a healthy choice to make. We've got protection from a man for long-term commitment. Okay, I think we've had that message a few times. And then we've got fantasizing about love or burdens, or we've got it's probably a sudden change, isn't it? In matters of the heart, causing burdens. Reading it downwards, we've got health. A sudden change in the health that needs protecting. So someone needs to protect the health by making a significant change. This could be a change in diet, but it's significant. Like that suddenly, oh, damn, I better give this thing up. I've got a sore knuckle at the moment. 2 days away from my supplements. And it wasn't even 2 either, because when I got back on Sunday afternoon, I had some of them. So it was only Saturday morning that I did. Yeah, I had them before I left, Friday morning. It was only Saturday morning that I didn't have them. Sunday morning I didn't have them, but I had them in the afternoon. And my diet was different. It wasn't that good when I was away. Not the usual stuff that I would eat. And my knuckle is kind of a little bit inflamed, a little bit sticky. Not good. Not good. Anyway, be aware of that, because I think that's a personal message. Something needs to change. There needs to be new choices made to protect your health. And it's significant. Like suddenly stopping eating that thing, or suddenly starting to eat a certain way. Then we've got birth of something new with a man of heart. Oh, man starting something new. The masculine wants to birth something new with matters of the heart, wants a fresh start of the heart, honouring his feelings. Hey, Barbara. Then we've got a choice around long-term commitment because of burdens. Okay, so burdens. This is being like mature about it and going, okay, there are burdens that come along with it. Could be talking about blending families with children, like those kind of burdens and the long-term implications, and not just being in the fantasy and all of that stuff. So that's what we've got. Now, the clouds card said unexpected changes, and pay attention to the cards that are around it. Well, the cards that are around it are the man, so the masculine, about protection, sudden changes to protect ourselves, protect your money possibly as well, and protecting your heart. Sudden changes now around the heart, sudden changes around your love life. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about. We're also talking about something that isn't changing. There doesn't seem to be a solution, something that won't die kind of thing, something that isn't being resolved very quickly. Okay, now let's do this. So if anyone wants a mini read, check out that pinned comment pinned off top of the live chat. It tells you how to do it. There's a PayPal link in there. For your donations, you can also use Super Chat and Super Sticker if you'd like as well, here on YouTube. After you have done your donation, put your question in a comment, put a capital Q at the start of your comment so I can find it easily amongst the chatty comments. Different Barbara, I think. Oh, no, it is Lemon. Same Barbara, but different YouTube account. Or you changed your name. teenagers. It's kind of weird. I liked COVID town. COVID town. It's, oh yeah, I'd forgotten what it's like when it's got a lot of tourists here. There's not even a lot yet. It's quite a few though. It's quite busy right now. What have we got here? We've got the Queen of Swords. She's got boundaries. She's seeing the bird's eye view as well. On a very solid balloon there. Firm foundation. She's built firm foundations. She's being very matter of fact about it. She's taking that higher view, bird's eye view, and Queen of Swords, making decisions, and especially around boundaries, strong boundaries kind of thing. What else? So we could be talking about being both sides, masculine and feminine, being boundaried for the long term kind of thing, wary to get into things because they're cognizant of the burdens. Chaos and conflict. Someone's heart's been ripped out, and she doesn't look that bothered about it either. Yeah, I don't like this energy. This is like that fox energy in the Lenormand card I'm picking up from this. She looks like she doesn't care, hey? He's in the darkness there with his heart ripped out, trying, patched up his chest somewhat, but his heart's ripped out. So no wonder the masculine wants to have a change, wants to start like have a new emotional beginning, allowing themselves to love again and be loved again. Love, not constriction. But there's this one, causing chaos and conflict. She doesn't give a shit. Look at her face. She's very cold. That could be the Queen of Swords energy too. Someone could be causing a lot of trouble here. Not caring about people's hearts. Then we've got the King of Wands, where it's like, I know what I want. I've got this passion. I've got this fire in my heart. I'm going to march to the beat of my own drum and get what it is that I want. He's on his way there, to claiming what it is that he wants. Feels like the masculine's making a decision for himself here. Advocating for his heart, which we knew the divine masculine needed to do. Meanwhile, the divine feminine has to sort out her boundaries and her empowerment and all of that. We also have the Ace of Cups. Wow. Feeling really good. Very happy. A lot of transformation around this one as well, with all those butterflies being set free. On top of the water now, so not drowning in it, not being overwhelmed by the water, but on top of the water, on top of the world. I'm feeling really good. Ace of Cups is feeling really good. She's pleased with herself. Heart being happy. But there's some fears and anxieties coming up here. Sleepless nights. So a mixture of like happy, heart happy, and a mixture of, oh God, what's going to happen next? Kind of an energy. Very mixed, of course, because that's life, isn't it? We'd like it to be Ace of Cups all the time, but it isn't. Got to take the rough with the smooth. You got clouds ringing lilies yesterday. Well, that could be like a sudden divorce kind of thing, and there was that energy in the energy update today. Yeah, there could be shocking stuff happening. There's a lot of squirrel activity out there today. Chasing each other. They're cute. Hello, I. Okay, let's go to the Book of Shadows Tarot and find out what they're going on about. What do we need to know about this, though? Maybe we just need to know that this is going on, that it's more complicated than we think. I think that this is saying, or this could be your part in it too, in kind of waking up to the burdens that you're taking on, that you will be taking on, needing to have boundaries, and that it's not all going to be Ace of Cups. There's going to be Nine of Swords there as well. It's going to be balanced, because life always is. So, let's find out more about this for the collective. Join our community if you'd like. On Facebook, if you're on Facebook. Facebook's funny, isn't it? I mean, it's really useful, but it does try and be like all the others, doesn't it? It tries to be YouTube, and it tries to be TikTok, and it just tries to be all of them. It tries to be Twitter. It doesn't have its own identity. It's like one of these teenagers that are staying here, trying out all different identities because it doesn't know who it's are, and it just wants to rule everything. So it wants to be everything. So I'll do this, and I'll do that, and I'll do this, and I'll do that. Instead of just finding its place and being that and excelling in that, which Facebook doesn't do. It doesn't excel in one particular thing, but it is very useful. Identity crisis. We've got the Eight of Air. Beautiful image, that. What does the Eight of Air mean in this deck? Meditation. Don't underestimate the power of our mind. In this situation, the mind is the key. First, calm it. Do not let it obsess. Okay, so it could be about fantasy. I mean, that cloud card could have been about fantasy. Do not let it obsess. Second, I can obsess easily. Second, focus it. Decide the best way to employ its power. Finally, control it. It's tricky. Maintain connection to the divine and keep it on task. One thing I've been doing lately is speaking out loud more to my higher self and to my guides. For myself, not for work, but for myself, speaking out loud helps me do that, helps me retain that focus. Also, about my finances at the moment, I want that land high, and I'm getting closer to it. Every day, I see how much money I've got, and I translate it into Thai baht to see. And I've got over $1 million, but I think the land was, I can't remember now, 1.6. Nearly there, but I can't buy the land and have nothing left, right? These fishers, these con artists, they're sending me emails pretending it's from the Facebook team, saying that I've got a copyright violation. Anyway, with my money, it's because I use all of these anchors. I use all of these anchors to get to my next financial goal for my savings. And so it will be using my passwords and things like that. My password will be the next financial goal I'm at. I'm getting close to it now, so it's time to change all of that anchoring stuff, which is, why I looked into, well, how much money do I really want? Let me set a bigger goal to get there, because usually I'll just do kind of next step, next 10,000 kind of goal. But I want to set it bigger than that this time and see what will happen. So I was figuring it out the other way around. So how many baht do I need? Well, it turns out it's $40,000 is 1 million baht. I'm like, okay, well, I can go up in millions now. Is that cool? I can go up in millions. Ha! But it's that kind of thing. It's like getting a clarity of what to focus on to lead you forward. Might not be about money, but if we're talking about relationships, it's very easy to get caught up in the fantasy, isn't it? Which can sometimes be goals. So sometimes we can use, like, do law of attraction stuff for relationships and it be a fantasy, like dreaming up the life that we want with our partner. That can be law of attraction kind of stuff, right? But then we can very easily get into the realm of obsession where we just keep that going because it's kind of nice, because it's not happening in real life. So it's kind of nice just to keep that fantasy going. And the universe is like, hey, this isn't law of attraction stuff anymore. This is you indulging in a fantasy. Because we only need to do that stuff once. Sometimes we need to remind ourselves of what those goals are if we can get off track. But we only need to do the law of attraction stuff once, right? And let it go. So yeah, just a message there for some. So sometimes you can be doing the law of attraction stuff. This is the kind of relationship I want. This is the kind of lifestyle that I want with them. Having that dream, and you feel really great when you're having that dream. And then you meet someone, or you've got your eye on someone, and then you mesh that person with that law of attraction stuff that you did, and you get into the fantasy, and then that can get dysfunctional. Because then it's like we're not being open to it showing up in any way that it can. We're going, oh, I want it from this one. I want it from this person. And that can be damaging. Makes sense? And talking about financial goals, it can also be damaging too, not to have a goal to go for, like a savings goal to go for that's big enough. Like, I recognize, even though I haven't reached my goal yet, I recognize that I need to make it higher, because the goal, when I reach it, and I'm close to it, but when I reach it, it's not really my goal. I've got a bigger goal than that. You know what I mean? It's not going to make my heart happy. I'm not going to be going like, yes, I reached it, because I didn't reach my actual goal. So I need to set my goals with my heart, the goal that's actually in my heart. If you're still going to want more after you've reached your goal, then your goal's not right? Anyway, something to think about with goals and fantasy and stuff like that. You do as well, Jessica, the password thing and everything. Try it. Do others do that? Put your goals as your password. It's good. What choices to make? Oh yeah, that's what Lila Norman said. We've got choices to make about well-being. Oh, of course, it could be financial well-being, right? But it could be relationship, could be emotional well-being. There's choices to make for that. Pendulum. Using, even if we use the pendulum, all these red and green crystals, often we just want the answer that we know already that we want. So we already know the answer, is what I'm saying, when we're using these things. Because it can come up no, and you're like, I don't want that answer. Or it can come up no, and it's like, yes, I wanted that answer. So really we know, don't we? A lot of thought stuff to... So steps to attain it. It aids us in reaching the goal. Yeah, so it's good to have like mini wins along the way, isn't it? But I've got a lot of wins in my life anyway. Those mini wins, so that I'm not... I feel good about myself already. Nope, told no to that chunk of cards. Neptune was there though. Neptune and his... Here we go. The Nine of Fire. He's come out again. Pluto. Hunky Pluto. He heralds the inevitable. Right, that's that natural thing, right? Something doesn't seem to be resolved as fast as we want it to get resolved, but so that nature card I was getting, that, but it's natural, that this is natural. It heralds the inevitable. Nine of Fire, the events are not a surprise. More often we see them coming, we know we should prepare, but we resist. See ya, Christine, have a good one. Enjoy the kids. We know we should prepare. We know something's coming, but we resist preparing. The changes Pluto promises are usually difficult, and ones we'd rather forego. While that's not possible, there is at least a promise of riches at the end of the journey. Right. It's difficult. We've got something, burdens or something like that. There's something coming up, and we know it's coming up, and there's an element here that we might be in a fantasy going, no, I can bypass that. I don't need to. It's like the law of attraction stuff. When I was told by a psychic that I wouldn't meet my man until middle age, and I'm like, no, I can manifest it. I didn't, did I? But I thought I could, but I couldn't. Some things are inevitable, but we think we can override it. Like if you tell someone that's big into the law of attraction, like in a fantasy positive person like that, when they're big into it, they won't listen to anything else, kind of stuff. If you tell them they're going to have to do the shadow work, or that they're going to, have to overcome obstacles or whatever, they'll go, no, I can manifest it, so it's all easy. It's like, well, then you're not on this planet. You're on a different planet if you think you can do that, because we can't. Because there's a growth path involved, and there always is. And we would like to avoid difficulties, but this is saying that we can't. So best prepare for it. I think that's what the anchor card was saying in the Normand as well. It's a very mature outlook, saying we know that there's going to be burdens, we know that there's going to be problems. Best prepare for it instead of thinking, praying that the universe saves you from those problems, or trying to out-manifest it, or anything like that. Can't outrun divine timing, and we can't out-manifest duality. We can't out-manifest duality. Damn it. Wouldn't it be nice if we could, but we can't. Just some things we can't do. And now, that could be that health message as well. Remember, we had the tree, which is all about health and well-being, and significant changes could be forced upon us. Not forced upon us, but you might need to make significant changes, say to your diet or something like that. I've got a friend, and she's, I don't know about her channeling. She does channeling, but she's a friend on Facebook that I met through the money program. Anyway, she does channeling. I've never been to one of her shows or anything like that, but she's focused on money, mindset and stuff. It's probably why I've not been, because I'm not that interested in that stuff anymore. I've got a good handle on it all. But she's also teaching. She also eats a lot of crap, and she's teaching that you can do that. Eating cake all the time. Now you can't. We've got these physical bodies, and you can't out-manifest that. She's going to regret that, and everyone that's following her, if they're following that, they're all going to end up with diabetes and health complications because of it. And there's no getting around that. We cannot out-manifest the duality that's in our body, or the facts of what gives you health. You can do it for a certain amount of time, and then it catches up with you, because it's how long we've been doing something wrong that causes the health problems. It's not age per se, it's how long we've been doing something wrong that causes health problems, right? So I'm kind of worried for her, because she might even end up in prison for it. Well, hopefully she's going to wake up to it. Hopefully she'll have a huge health scare herself to wake up to that. You cannot be encouraging people to do that. And you can't say, no, all you need to do is like put a smiley face on it and eat all of that crap and your health, you'll be fine. No, you won't. You won't be fine. So there could be wake-up calls around health. Significant changes. At the moment, I can't get my protein bars that I really love because I do like a bit of sweet. A bit of sweet after my meals, I do. And fruit doesn't really cut it, let's be honest. When I could get the Bear Bells protein bars, they're amazing because it tastes like a chocolate treat. But if I eat one of those, it's so good for my body because it's just like so much protein and hardly any junk in it, even though it tastes really good. It's the treat that I need, but it's healthy, and it's just we can't buy them at the moment in this country. Go on the website, the Bear Bells website. You can only have them if you're in England or America, or there's another place too. I could get them here. I got them here last year. All out of stock. Yeah, we've got to take good care of our bodies. We do. We do. And we see a lot of unhealed people, don't we? Not doing that. We do. Anyway, something to think about. Just because that tree card came up, you know? Be thinking about health stuff. Especially as we get older, you know? As I said, it's not about getting older. It's about how long we've been doing the stuff that we shouldn't have been doing in the first place. It catches up to us, and then when we realise, we've got to go, oh shit, better make those changes now. It could be significant. We've got the elemental of fire. What does that mean? Salamander. Brings an influx of fiery energy to the situation. Oh, it's like a firecracker is thrown into the mix. It's there for you to use if you can, or to counterbalance if need be. Firecracker is thrown into the mix, so things could be escalating. We were told to get prepared for something that's inevitable. It's like, you better be, because when that firecracker is thrown into the mix, everyone's going to start dancing and things are going to start moving. 7 of air is the I Ching. A lot of air, a lot of sorting our minds out going on here. Thought energy. Yin exists within yang and yang within yin. This is duality. This is about accepting duality. Okay, accepting duality. Yes. Very unromantic that, hey, but it's real. We've got to be real in relationships. Have the romance part of it, but then wake up and realize that it's going to be duality. There's going to be burdens. There's going to be the rough with the smooth. There's going to be the good times, yes, but it's not that fantasy that we've been having. Then we've got the mother of fire. She nurtures that fire, doesn't she? Yeah, she tends the fire. She nurtures that fire. Okay. I had a reunion yesterday. I saw him again, first time, for over a month. Well over a month. And so the energy update that yesterday was right for me. I had reunion energy in there. And it was very interesting because I was tuning into my feelings. Well, no, I was really surprised that I didn't feel very much when I saw him again, and it kind of shocked me. I was expecting to feel something, feel more than I did. And so it made me kind of go within and go, well, what was I expecting to feel? And I realized that feelings of attraction for me, feelings around someone that I'm attracted to, a lot of the time it's been fearful. It's been the butterflies, but it's been a fear reaction in me. And I don't have that with him. I don't have that fearful reaction. And so I'm like, well, what was it I was expecting to feel? I'm like asking myself, like, what would be the ideal feelings to give me some kind of a confirmation? It's like, well, maybe exactly what I did experience, which was the same as ever. It showed me that I was grounded. First of all, I thought there was something wrong. How come how come I don't have an exaggerated feeling inside of me? And then when I tuned into it, I'm like, no, this is normal. This is grounded. I don't know what I was expecting, to swoon or something, that fantasy. Anyway, it's kind of reminded me of this energy. There is an influx of fiery, passionate energy, and to nurture that, not let it be used against you. Queen of Swords, have your boundaries and stuff like that, but also nurture it too. And it might be more subtle than the Disney emotions that you thought you might have. The fire might be more subtle. You see, we've got things like Romeo and Juliet, which say love's dramatic and it's tragic and a lot of feeling there, but it's mostly Nine of Swords, right? Is that love? All that drama and despair, and is that love? I used to kind of believe that tragedy, the longing and the tragedy, I used to think that was love. I believed that. And then we've got like Disney things, like it's like the Little Mermaid that like gives up everything to be, she'd do anything just to marry this guy on the land. Idiot mermaid. Is that love? Where we just get so swept up in the obsessions that we'll do anything and give anything up? And no. We've got to nurture the fire. I know it's not water, but I'm getting the feelings, and it's passionate feelings. And it's like, well, what is healthy, passionate feeling then? What is it? Because I'm certainly now I consider myself at about age 47, around that time, as being majority healed, feeling like a different person now, feeling way more in control of stuff, of myself. And it's a nice feeling place because it's not extremes anymore. I don't feel anything extreme anymore. And sometimes, that calling forth the waves card, sometimes I want to feel more. That's when we create drama, right? Because I want to feel more. Because I've been taught that life is this, bam, 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 the extremes of emotions, that, I Ching, if you want like really, really good times, you're going to have really, really bad times too. But when you're healed, it's more of this, and it's much nicer. But then you kind of miss. You feel like there's something wrong with you because you're not getting those extreme highs anymore. Didn't I talk about it in the energy update today? Something about we don't want, it might have been yesterday, it could be today. We don't want it to be on an extreme high all the time, full of joy and excitement, because it's exhausting. We can't be like that all the time. And we certainly don't need to be like that for the law of attraction. In fact, the law of attraction works way better if we're doing this rather than trying to be up there. If we're trying to be up there all the time, there's going to be this. There's always going to be that balance. I don't know, just musings myself. Has anyone else noticed that too? Is that the extremes is pretty much similar to menopause too, for me. You go from having a cycle as a female where you have the highs at ovulation, and then you have the lows, and then you have the highs and the lows, and it's worth it. You go on the pill, you don't get those highs and lows anymore, and you don't get the highs, and it's like, well, what's the point in living if I don't have those highs? And I did. That's what I thought. But now menopause is more consistent state. We think we want that, right? But it's like, oh no, I'm missing the highs. I'm missing the highs. Higher realms have more balanced energies. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. It's more like that. I'm feeling like that at the moment, but I'm feeling like I'm missing out on something because of it. I'm having to rewire myself, my brain. And it's like, well, it feels better. It feels better to be on this even keel. Then how do we navigate, like, romantic relationships? How? Because I'm used to them being like that. Felt too much when he did his girlfriend speech. Yeah, that's that. Boom, right? Yeah. I don't blame you, Lisa. Could have recognised that. We can only get to this even keel thing if we respond to, like, especially if it's someone else that's took us down, right? It's like, okay, I shouldn't be around people like this. I shouldn't even be around people that take me down a little bit. Well, maybe a little bit. We're going to have people do that, but certainly not a lot. That's when we need to have those boundaries. Oh. What have we got here? I'll give them all an honorary mention. Summerland's full, start of a new journey. The circle is the world card, I think. What's the circle? What does she look like? She looks a bit like the High Priestess, but she's not. I wish they'd put that. I should sort this book out. It's the Hanged Man. It's the Hanged Man. Okay. And we've got the elemental of water and the elemental of air. Oh, how interesting. Elemental of fire, elemental of water, elemental of air. So the elemental of fire is an influx of fiery energy. Elemental of air is fresh insight, blowing in. Potential to cut to the chase and resolve things, add layers of complication. And the elemental of water lets you know there's plenty of emotions involved in the situation. Anything could happen. You see, I'm having to be more fine-tuned then. It's like, okay, so he shows up. I did feel something, but it wasn't a big feeling like I expected to feel. So then I was questioning myself, and as I said, I spent some time thinking about it, and it's like, no, I don't have any of these extreme emotions anymore. And I really tapped into it, and it's like, what was I expecting to feel? I was expecting to feel a fear reaction, and I didn't get that. That's a good thing. So really tune into your emotions at the moment. Hanged Man, you might be changing your mind about things. You might be getting clarity. Nurture the passion that you do feel, so it's not going to be huge. Oh, I've got the Two of Cups. You wouldn't have had the boundary in the past, Lisa. And then we've got the Two of Cups. Love. Two of Water promises a romantic, loving relationship. Two people involved will be quite enthralled with each other. Being so wrapped up in their own little world, they may neglect other things for a while. Okay, I can do that. Isn't it interesting? I think it is. And we had the Fool. Don't forget, Claire, we had the Fool out as well. Start of a new journey. Start of a new journey, and it's a mature. We've had this, haven't we? We've had this message. We had the message that divine feminine, divine masculine are coming together. Twin flames are coming together to have a whole new kind of a relationship. We've had the message recently as well that there's going to be a mature kind of a relationship. Very different. So it's two people that have done the work on themselves. Neptune energy since its kiss with the sun on the 13th has been a bit different. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mary Ellen. Oh, yeah, mini reads. Forgot. You got a question, Mary Ellen? Anyone else want a mini read? I'll batch them up. So get them coming in now if you want a mini read. Those donations and stuff. And I'm going to get on with the tarot before we do that. What else do we need to know? Bring it down to earth with the so below. So we very much could be in our in our heads at the moment. We've got to tune into our emotions, fine tune into them. It's like being able to run a bath, the right temperature. Tell a very young child to run a bath, and they will do too much, like a lot of cold and then a lot of hot. It will go from too cold to too hot to too cold. Whereas an adult running a bath knows these things, more likely to like turn both taps on, get and test the temperature and make small changes, right? Because they've got the wisdom to do that. That's what we're talking about here. Is being more fine-tuned like that, being more wise about it so that we don't have to go through the extremes. Hey, Stephanie. Oh, good question, Mary Ellen. Let's find out before we do the tarot. Juicy question. Your lease on your townhouse is up in August with an increase of $300. What's that, per month? Or for the year? Month. Month, probably. My boyfriend has asked me to move in with him. Should I move in with him? Should she? Should Mary Ellen move in? Yes. Yes, you should. Let's find out why. Of course, make the decision based on what you want rather than on financial scarcity. But financial making good decisions for our finances is a good thing, right? Being terrified and thinking, I'm never going to afford this, and even though I don't want to move in with my boyfriend, I better. That's not a good thing. But your high self is saying yes, so let's find out why. Oh, wow. Yes, abundance. It was a word, grace. 2 cards of abundance there. Grace, things really flowing, yes. Both in the flow there. Yeah, be more abundant because of it. You're going to be able to build more because of it. Really good idea. Shared. That was the message again today, wasn't it? In the shared, in the daily energy update, there was something about you could be getting an influx of money or like winning, probably not winning, but getting an influx of money. And I did say it could be because you're deciding to move in with someone and then you've got joint finances, and that is like a win, isn't it? Suddenly there's once you're sharing costs, there's so much more available. It's like you've got a bonus. Very good energies there. Right. This tumultuous, look at all this red here, gentle, quieted heart and passion. This is about, okay, so what are your trepidations in moving in? Well, there's something about the fire between you. There's something about, are they really stubborn? Are you really stubborn? It's something like that. There's a worry that you've got, that there might be clashes. This is saying, calm yourself, dear. It'll be okay. You'll get through this. You'll be able to deal with it. It's not a problem. So a red flag, and it's passion. It's got its good sides and it's got its bad sides, of course, because duality will always exist. You'll get through it. You'll be able to deal with it. But very good for your finances, for both of you. So go for it. How exciting. You got $100. Mine's gone down. Mine went down in December and it stayed down. Can't put it up now. They can't put it up. They can't ask me for more now. It's got to stay the same. It's like when I moved in here, I got the going rate then, and it was up 3,000 baht for newcomers like a couple of years later, but I was still paying mine, and it's gone down because of the COVID stuff, because they're doing special offers. They can't raise it again. I'm going to stick at the low. Wow. I'm paying about, someone needs to Google this because it's in Australian dollars that I know, not American. But I'm paying about 1,000, I think. Oh, wait. I need to find out. Okay, I pay. No, not that much. But 2 AUD, I pay, well, how about that? 661 Australian dollars. I was paying much more than that. I was paying about $1,000 before. And what did I just say? 60. What did I just say? No. 661. This phone is slow. AUD to USD, that's it. 492 in this resort a month. Cheap here. And everyone thinks that's really expensive, and they're like, why the hell are you paying so much, Claire? Did rents not go down for COVID? Yeah, they did here. Because there was no one to get the places. There was no tourism here. So the people that were left, rent went down. When there's lots of tourists, of course, you're competing with tourists, you've got to pay like tourist prices. The opposite happened here. They lowered the price for tourists, so they had to lower it for us. Otherwise, what would we do? We just move into one of the other rooms. Just go to another resort and get the cheaper tourist prices. So they lowered it. They lowered it here. Good. Let's get back to the tarot. Well, that sucks. That sucks for you all because it's going up when times are kind of harder, yeah? People stop paying, now they're evicting, yikes. Scary. Okay, what else do we need to know in the tarot for the collector? Does no one else want a mini read? Or am I not getting emails from PayPal? I think nobody wants one today. That's not too bad. Yeah, I was paying probably... I was paying about the same in Australia, in a resort. I was paying about, I think, 750 Australian dollars just a month just down a resort there. About the same when I moved in here. And then exchange rates changed, so it was more like 1,000 a month, and now 661. More swords. 2 of swords. Choices to be made. That's the pendulum card again. Yes or no? What are we going to do? Let's get grounded. Think about it. Mine's just a little room. Well, it's quite a big room really compared to the rest, but it's not basic compared to other places. It's just a resort room. 7 of chalices. Choices. So we do have choices to make at the moment. Could be confusing. Especially if you've got, like I have, to that place of, well, now I'm like pretty much healed. I feel so very different now. very different. So I've got to be more fine-tuned with the emotional stuff with my emotional guidance, because there's not massive highs and massive lows. It's easy, isn't it? Someone makes you feel really crappy, you get rid of them out of your life. But if someone makes you just feel a little bit, what do? Well, that's what you need to do. You need to get to the point where you are so fine-tuned with your emotions that you feel it. You feel yourself get a little bit drained, and then you do something about that. Or you feel a little bit better and you do more of that. It's that stuff. It's that fine-tuning. Then we've got the world. Cycle completing, new cycle beginning. We're really creating a new world. It is a new journey, this Fool card. A whole new way of being, and it's alien to us. You know what? I was listening to, I can't remember what his name is. Patrick Tian, that's his name. The guy who talks a lot about codependency and trauma and abuse and the result of childhood abuse and all of that. He put out a video yesterday, I think it was, and I watched it yesterday and I was quite taken aback by it, because it's very good. Like, watch it, but it's quite triggering. And he says it's going to be triggering because it was the traits of narcissistic personality disorder compared to the traits of someone with, what do they call it? Chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. I've got that. I'm managing it way better than I've ever managed it before. But it's still there. And I don't think it's anything you can really get over when it's childhood trauma like that. That you can get to a point, like I'm at a point now where it's totally under control. I don't need to numb from it or anything like that anymore. But anyway, watch his video, because it's like, this is why it's so confusing. So many people labeling people as narcissists, but look how similar these symptoms are. The narcissist might do one certain thing out of a grandiosity or self-importance, but the post-traumatic stress person does a similar thing, but it's for a different reason. It's to protect themselves or something like that. So, watch it. Patrick Teahan, I think it is. His YouTube channel. The hunks are still here. The hunks that swim in the morning. Draping themselves with towels now, so I can't see them properly. They've put it away. And that has been my confusion as well, is especially around other people that are draining. I'm like, so they've got narcissistic qualities, right? I can see that, and I can see that I've had them too, and probably still do. Definitely had more narcissistic traits when I was younger and unhealed. I can see that. And I get what he's saying is that your trauma does that. It can be trauma-led. And of course, the narcissism is trauma-led too. They're both very similar. And my guides have been saying that as well, is that they're very similar. It's like you got the same things going on and you don't see it. Okay. Yeah, you can transmute it. But the post-traumatic stress disorder doesn't go away. It still kicks in when I'm under stress. So mine, especially because I used to be attacked in bed as a child. At night, I will wake up screaming or attacking these poor flowers. And although it's very rare, it used to be all the time. Like, I used to have a couple of those episodes every week. But now it's just very occasionally, maybe once or twice a year. And it's always when I'm in a stressful situation that it'll come back up again. Yeah, can deal with it. Can get to a point of feeling much better about it. What was my point? Cycles ending, new cycles beginning. Choices to be made. There's definite choices to be made at the moment. What cycles are you going to end? Can you recognize the cycles that need to end? Because remember, our ego is going to pull us into the more extreme emotions, the drama and the conflict and all of that kind of stuff, which we don't necessarily want. But if you're still in that fantasy of the excellent, the fantasy of either like the Disney romance or the fantasy of the perfect twin flame soulmate relationship, if you've got an idea that that is like the perfect relationship and that not going to cause you any trouble, that kind of fantasy, or the fantasy of like winning a lot of money and that you're having no worries after that, all of those fantasies of the extreme, if you're still buying into that stuff, if you still believe in that, you're going to be on this roller coaster. If you're wishing for that, you're going to get that too, right? Getting an even keel on your emotions and getting more. What I'm saying is that there might be a push and a pull kind of thing. You might want to be healed and have that, but then when you actually experience it, you might yearn for the more heightened emotions. Like menopause. You want your periods to be over. But then when you actually experience that you don't get those highs at ovulation, the lows, are you sure that you really want it? Yes. Then we've got the Ace of Swords. So a lot of clarity can come from this, but you need to be really fine-tuned with yourself at the moment. There's choices to be made, yes, but really get very introverted about it. Really feel what's going on. Four of Swords, all the swords, right? All in our minds, all in the minds. It's all about our minds right now. This is about rest and relaxation, giving ourselves time out for that clarity, taking actual time to do it. So we might be all up in our heads at the moment, which I feel that this is what Mercury retrograde calls for. That's why I like it so much, because I like my internal world. I like doing that inner work. I do it all day long, working it all day long, I love that stuff. But we're not Mercury retrograde, are we? But it's that feeling of take time to do this stuff, to do this inner work. And it's not so much inner work anymore. It's just kind of, it's like meditation. It's like this meditation, contemplating it, feeling what's going on inside of ourselves, listening to what's going on in our minds, questioning it now. It's like, well, now I've got a whole different perspective on myself and on life and on others. What do I make of these feelings now? What do I really want? Yeah, men have it too. But like as I say, I don't like there's some of you guys that come in here, right? But I'm pretty sure that I'm speaking to your feminine aspects because I'm a woman and I can't like help men. Well, I can help some of them, but I don't advertise myself as doing that because I can only help from my own experience. I'm not. I'm not a man. And I don't trust men that are working in this field either, trying to tell women what to do. That's how it feels to me, trying to tell women what to do. It's like, how can they possibly? I get there can be some teachers to come from an opposite perspective. It's like the dating stuff, like, what's his name? I'm terrible with names. They'll come to me. Matthew Hussey. Like him, he's got a really good perspective because he looks at it from both angles. He can tell you what's going on with men kind of thing. I get that. I get that men have got something to teach women, absolutely, because they can tell women about the man's perspective of it, absolutely. But for those guys that are trying to do the healing work and saying, oh, I can help women do this, can you? Oh, Scorpio's retrograde. Is it? Very in touch with your feminine side, yeah. And I, the guys that I attract to my business, it is the feminine part of them that I know that I'm speaking to. Because I can't speak to the masculine. I can't. I haven't a clue. I've not been through it. Or I can only speak from my experience. Same with my readings too. I can only pick up on that because it's a feeling that I get. I don't get the words, I get the feelings, and it reminds me of something that I've been through. And it's that energy. It's not the feeling, it's the energy. And that's how I put it in my readings. It's like, oh, I know this one. And that's why there's my stories mixed in there too, because it's that energy that they're giving me. It's like, oh, this card, Claire. Oh, remember that time then. That's that energy. And so I speak it. Oh, nice. Grooming horses. Yeah. I felt that way at the weekend as well. That time out was so good for me. And I feel like that this is what it's saying. Hey, the Four of Swords, we need to give ourselves time out. That message has been coming out, especially in the last 5 days around the full moon. We need to give ourselves that time out now for that clarity and to go within and to get really clear on it. Hey, Mr. Bowers, you just here for the cards. Fairy tales, right? So damaging, hey? What garbage that we're fed as kids. I believe it. Doesn't set us up, does it? Then we've got the One of Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. Big offer. Let's see what it says in the book about this one. Something big. Ace of Pentacles. The gifts of earth are laid before. When we choose to work with them in harmony, they assist us in our endeavors. Any option pursued seems to carry unlimited potential. It's big. An opportunity for prosperity. So yeah, like we've already seen. With the message in the mini read for Mary Ellen. It's that. She's on hers right now, you see? Her Ace of Pentacles. There's something that can be built from this. There's an opportunity for something to be big here, but we need to be really clear in ourselves, kind of what we learned. Not going back there again and doing the same thing, you know. There's a new way forward. New cycle. The World card says that. New cycle. There's an element of us needing to be clear about the old cycles that we don't want anymore, even though our ego is going to try and pull us in that direction again. It's like, no, you want to feel this fantasy. No, you want the fantasy. You want that romance. You want that fantasy. All of the swords on this table are saying, get some clarity, think about it. Stop being so Two of Cupsy, which is weird why the Two of Cups has come out. You know, it's annoying to have a YouTube channel in tarot because I want to tell the truth, but people don't watch the truth, right? My channel is doing so badly compared to everyone else's that will just do that. And so there's an element that just do that, just tell people what they want to hear. And so you'll see, like in my daily energy updates, it's all in there, what I'm picking up. But then I'll focus on the positive romantic thing for that title, because that's what people will watch. And then they'll probably hear the rest of my stuff and switch it off. And I think that's what happens, because something's not working for me in the algorithm, that's for sure. But I've got the right people anyway, because my business is thriving. Might not be a lot of subscribers, and I may not have my YouTube earnings have gone down, way down. They were 4 times the amount that they are now. Way down. But my business is doing great. Moon, unknown. So much unknown, and it's our feelings. It's our feelings that are unknown. That's that. So if I'm going to be on an even keel, and I'm not even going to have these fluttery heart, like, swoon, he swept me off my feet moments, do I even want a life like that? The answer is yes, because it's better. It is. It's much better. But it's an even keel better. People don't want to hear the truth. People don't want to do the shadow work. People don't want to do the work. I know. But I don't want to do the work if it's not that. I don't want to do this if it's not that. I can't. I know what would sell, and I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that anyway. It's working for me. Business-wise. Okay, let's do some mini reads. I get the message today on a personal level for sure. Timothy, you like kicking yourself out of being stuck in your head. You're looking for the balanced, chill, loving relationship. Yeah, me too. But then I found that. Of course, it's not started yet. Well, it has started, but it's not started. Of course, we're in a relationship with each other, but not like that. But a part of me thinks that I'm missing out because I'm not had those big feeling things. It's very chill. Here we go. Wow. A long time ago. General guidance. I thought you said that. And then we've got Carrie after that. Thank you for your donations. General guidance for you, Timothy. There's a chicken cat. You didn't tell me. I'll let her in. Hey, Tiki. Sunshine. Is it true, cleanse? Is it true that you've got to let go of something? You're thinking that you need to let go of something at the moment, and it's not even true, says your higher self. You don't need to let go of it. Let's find out what it is. Something that you think is wrong with you, or something that needs changing. Oh, okay. You think that there's something to let go of because something isn't flowing at the moment, but it's not true. It's that whole energy of when we get too stuck in the inner work, we get too stuck in the healing stuff, and then we always come in from this frame of mind of what do I need to fix? What do I need to let go of? What's wrong with me? You're too much in that at the moment, too much in the inner work. Instead, you can just meditate. In other words, focus on being in the flow. I'm already in the flow. You're already in the flow. It's already happening. There is not anything to cleanse. If you come from that point of view, it's that this is the message of, and I get it sometimes for myself. It's like, what if there's not anything else to let go of? What if I'm already ready for it? What if it is already happening? This is saying stop looking for the problem, or stop looking, for what it is that you need to let go of. Still trying those Facebook scammers. Carrie, what about you? How's life guidance on keeping my sanity and emotions in check dealing with someone that doesn't say how they feel or use their words? Oh, you're in that situation too. Some days I feel like I'm riding a roller coaster. Will they ever tell you how they feel? Isn't it frustrating? Mine not either. But that's a good thing. I mean, those Lenormand cards have been saying for a while, or the other cards too, that the masculine is having a protective effect. Yes, they will. They will reveal it. Okay. So the masculine can be stepping up in the way that they have been taught to step up, which can be the strong, silent type kind of thing, taking control. And could be silent because of it at the moment. Let's find out. Gentle okayness, be okay about that. They've been taught these things, but this is what you're meant to do. It's a strong silent type. It's saying be okay about that, yet be encouraging. What does that mean? It's like saying to them, go on, you can do it. You can speak your emotions. No, it's not about that. It's about being encouraging in your energy. So being okay about it, well, it's okay. They've been taught how to be a man, how to navigate these things. It's not to say it, not to be upfront about it, but deal with it inside of yourself first. And when it's all dealt with inside of yourself first, then communicate it. Women, we've been taught something else. We've been taught, you talk to all your mates about it, talk to everyone about it, and you voice it. So be okay about that. And encourage in your energy, in other words, they will get there. They will get there in their own way. Believe that in yourself, and that is being encouraging in your energy. So I get it that it's frustrating. It is frustrating. But I've got the same, like he won't say it. But he says it with his eyes and with his actions anyway. He communicates it, but he won't say it. But I can see that's his way of stepping up and sorting things out first. It's just what they've been taught, hey? What else? So be okay about that approach, that the masculine is going to have that approach. Pretty much all of them are going to have that approach. Completion and overwhelming, and it's not your job. And it's not your job to do that. It's not yours to manage. Okay. So the feminine has also been taught that it's our job to manage them, to bring it out of them, to manage them is what it is. To nurture and manage everyone else's emotions, especially the masculine's emotions, boys and men. That's not your burden to carry. So let them do their own thing. While you focus on letting go of that role that you think you have to manage the emotional aspects of it. Let's put it this way. While you're taking responsibility of something like everyone's emotional well-being, because women have been taught that, you're responsible for everyone's emotional well-being, so you've got that role. If you drop that role, someone else can step up. This is like emotional codependency. If I no longer take on the role, that woman kind of a role of making sure that everyone is emotionally okay, taking that responsibility, then my children, the men, whatever, they can take that responsibility themselves. If I will do it for them, they're not going to take the responsibility themselves. That's codependency, right? So you focus on letting that role go. You don't need to manage them in this. You just trust them to do it. That allows them to do it. They're not going to do it as a woman would do it because they've not been taught to do it that way, but they will get there in the end. Carrie, I feel you. And we don't want them to be women, right? Do we? I don't, anyway. But I think the feminine and the masculine have things to learn, and we can do it better. We can find a new kind of a balance that still has differences between the masculine and the feminine, but is a little bit more functional. Let's put it that way. Good luck anyway. Carrie, so frustrating. 24 years ago. He was so open. All right, young, open-hearted ones. Actions speak louder, yeah. And it could be a love language thing as well, but no, you guys are saying not so much, really. Vivian! You want a mini read, Vivian? I didn't see a cue. Looney to Tara. Oh. Have you got a question? Chicken wants out. had some biscuits and she's off out again because she's very interested in tourists. She wants to be out there with them. Ticks. She's a bit wary of them. She's going to go and see the boys next door. She's going to go and have a look. I'm sleeping. Yeah, let go of the emotional responsibility of others. I see it. I see the little girls doing it around here as well. But yeah, it's not healthy. Codependency. You need to tarot. You have 2 questions. First question. You apply to the same place your brother works. You have in mind only being there till the end of June because you have a trip planned. Should you pursue this plan? Keep going with the flow, Carrie. Yeah, and try not to. You're probably getting more frustrated with it because you think that you can change it and you can't, you know? It's because of that responsibility that you're getting frustrated with it. You've got to trust them to do it. Anyway, why would we even want to be with a man who's not stepping up and doing that stuff for himself? So if they don't do it, don't want them anyway. Look at it that way. I'm getting quite detached from mine now. It's like, well, just sort yourself out and then come to me. And I told him that. I didn't mean for him to be so sick for over a month. I almost said that to him. No, I said, stay away. Why don't you just stay away from me? But I didn't mean get sick for that long. Anyway, he did. Stayed away from me. I told him, why don't you just stay away from me until you're ready? If you're going to come at me right, you stay away from me until then. Because this is really frustrating for me. And then he got COVID. Anyway, let's answer your question. Should you pursue this plan? Yes, pursue that plan. Let me tell more about that. Yeah, you missed it. Timothy, I said. It was a good one too. Can anyone remember when Timothy's was? It was, what time are we on now? It was recent. I can't see what time we're on now. Oh yeah, 1:32. Look at around 1:20, I would say, Timothy, in the recording of it. Knowing and listen. Yeah, you've got your guidance right. Do it. Lunita Tara, you've got your guidance right already. Do it. It's a good plan. You got this. Accept what is and appreciate yourself. Sometimes you've got to put yourself first. So if you've got any like, I shouldn't let somebody down by doing something short term. No, put yourself first. It's a gift. You're allowed to. And question 2, you feel like there's something that isn't being said within your relationship? Oh, probably. Let's see. Thanks, Jessica. Is there something not being said? Yes. The answer to that is yes. There's something that's not being said. Preparing for change. So your person is preparing for change and they don't want to tell you about it yet for fear of failure. Interesting, because yesterday when I saw him again, I asked how he was, of course, because he's found it really difficult to get over COVID. And he was telling me about that, but there was something missing in him from his old self. There was something about losing face is what it felt like to me. Felt like a failure for not getting over it. I could see it. If he was a bit ashamed of himself being sick so long, and I think the male ego can do that a little bit more than the female ego. They're very hard on themselves. Anyway, preparing for something and kind of scared that they won't. Scared for failure. You don't want to share it with people if you're preparing for something. So you're trying to do something, trying to manifest something. and you're scared that you're not going to be able to do it, then you keep it quiet. That's what's going on. Painful. Oh, that video that I was talking about as well. The difference between narcissism, the differences and the similarities between narcissistic personality disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder, chronic post-traumatic stress disorder. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, avoidant styles where we can. I've got this. I recognize it a lot. Is that I will detach very easily because of my childhood trauma, because adulthood trauma too, and it's not because like a narcissistic personality disorder would as well, but they would do it for different reasons. This is an aloofness, and it's saying that you've both got it. You've both got this detachment. You've both got this, I will step back and sort it out myself kind of thing. So this is saying why you're surprised at this, because you do the same thing as well. It's nice in a way because it's personal responsibility. And like I said, don't we want to be in a relationship with someone like that that's going to sort their own shit out instead of put it on us? Yes. Yes, but as women we say, yes, but I would talk about it too. And yeah, but they're not women. You're welcome, Timothy. So yeah, your boyfriend's doing something. Doesn't want to tell you about it just in case they fail, and then they'll lose face or feel ashamed. Because they've got the drive to impress us and to take charge and all of that. And that's what they've been told their role is, right? And if they can't do that, see, this is why mine's having a tricky time, because I'm successful in ways that he's not successful at the moment, let's put it that way. We're not feeling successful in that way at the moment, and that's hard for a guy to take. Jessica. Thanks for your donations, by the way, everybody. I'm getting the message to surrender, but I'm not really clear as to what they mean. Okay. Surrender what? What are you even talking about, Jessica's higher self? It's just let it go. That message of just let it go. Like, let what go? How? Service and grace. Okay. It's about an idea that you need to do something, be of service, in order for something to flow to you or to get in the flow. It's an idea that you have something to offer. So when you're in this energy, you'll be susceptible to teachings that say if you're more generous, then you'll get more abundance. Teachings like that saying, in a way, you're not good enough with what you're doing, you need to do this thing before you can have what it is that you want. Grace, the state of flow, when good things flow to you. It's kind of true, but it kind of isn't too. What I've found is I'm finding myself more and more and more and more every step of the way of my healing in a state of grace. Everything gets more flowy. So to the point of when something goes wrong and I'm like, what the hell is that about? Because I'm used to flow. It's not that I can manifest it, that I'm managing myself. It's that I've got myself to this level of consistency where that stuff just doesn't happen to me. And it's not for want of the offers out there. I don't latch onto it anymore. I don't say the thing. I don't comment on the people's posts where I would have before. I don't say the things to people. I don't gossip with the people. I just don't invite that stuff in. I'm not tempted to do that stuff anymore. It's not that I am being of service, right? Obviously, I show up for my work and I do it. And I've got some balance in my life, yes. And outward appearances, I could teach well, all you need to do is like have a YouTube channel and do this and do that and have this balance. That's what it appears on the surface, right? And then you'll be in the state of grace. But that's not really what's behind it. And I know that's not what really is behind it. What's really behind it is an emotional security that I've got within myself through the self-love stuff that not only allows me to show up and do the work or whatever and advocate for my balance and all of that, the symptoms of it. But like I said, I've got that consistency in myself where I'm not looking for validation, which opens the door for the crappy stuff to come in. Yeah, I'm not seeking validation from anyone anymore. So I've got that emotional stability now that I'm not, like I said, I'm not gossiping with people about stuff. Got the emotional stability now. Right, so yesterday, 2 days ago, somebody came here to my door. It was on Monday when I do my recording. Now, usually straight after this, I'm straight into recording on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, straight after this show, straight into recording the dailies, and then I do a pick a card read, right? And so I'm shooting all the time. And then generally at the end of that, I just have coffee in the morning. And then at the end of that, about midday, midday, I'm done with the recording and I eat something. But because of my crappy diet over the weekend, because I was away, I got the sugar cravings earlier, so I was hungry. After I'd done the dailies, I think I did 3 or 4 daily recordings, I got hungry. So I gave myself a break, which I don't usually do, to have a bowl of granola. And as I was eating that, someone came to my door. So she was lucky because I would have sent her straight away if I was recording, like, get out of my video. But she wanted to come in and she wanted to sit there, and she did. And she complained about everything. And I sat there listening to her, eating my granola. And then when she was done complaining, the stuff that was going on for her, she left. And I just about finished, so I was back to my work. Not a problem, because I was kind of on a break of my work anyway. Now, yesterday, she showed up again. She also showed up to training that day as well and complained to me more about training stuff. And I'm thinking, this is a complainy person. I'm not taking it on, but it's not. I'm not the sponge for everyone's complaints, right? So she showed up yesterday when I was doing private readings, and I turned to her away. I said, I can't. Sorry, I'm in the middle of my work. I'm focused on it. I can't. She said, oh, I just dropped by to say hello. I said, yeah, but I can't. I'm really focused on my work. I've got a heap of these readings to do, and I can't. I sent her away. I had a clear boundary about it because just now, I can't. I'm not going to disrupt my life and my work and stuff like that to listen to her stuff. Stuff like that. Boundaries, yeah? Because of the even keel that I've got, through healing myself, I'm in this state of grace. Someone looking at me from the outside, if they're not listening to the stuff that I'm actually sharing about what really got me here, would say, oh no, it's just that she does the video, she does this, she does that, or whatever, she's lucky. Or, it's not those, it's some of the external choices, yes. But what's really behind it, it's not this. Or if it's this, it's being of service to yourself. It's a self-love thing. It underpins everything. Jessica. It's not something that you are doing or you're not doing. And so you want expansion, you want much more. You want to take action toward that, but it's not what you're doing or what you're not doing. Or it kind of is, but it's more subtle than you think. So keep on doing the self-love things. Keep on advocating for yourself. Keep on making better choices for yourself. But no, it's going to be bit by bit to get there. It's not a sudden, oh, I know what to do now. I know how to be on this even keel. No, there's a lot to it. And it's about constantly shifting your choices and making better and better choices. And then dealing with the guilts and shames that we have about not being there for people and not listening to their stuff and, not being available and not stepping in and not listening to the gossip and just, getting rid of the shame and the guilt around that. It's not anything that you're not doing or that you are doing. But it kind of is too. It's complicated, isn't it? Because we're talking, Subtleties. Lisa, am I correct to avoid him? I'll stop thinking about him. Are you correct to avoid him? Bit of spice is always good. Yes, you are. Bit of spice is always good. Why? Yeah. This is what you got going on while you've got that spice. Go within and forgive them. Tricky, hey, and we can't force that. Forgiveness. It's not like, yeah, we can't force it. We have to process it. We have to process it until we get to that place. Process what happens until we get to that place where we're okay about what went on. Not that we're okay about the behavior or whatever, or what they did. Or no, it's not that. It's getting to that, for me, it's getting to that place where I'm like, okay, so I chose someone like that. And of course, someone like that is going to do that kind of thing. I get it now. Why I would choose someone like that or allow them to do that, or not have had a boundary sooner, or whatever it was. There's some kind of, well, you can go within. It's to find out your part in it in a way, and you're not trying to blame yourself, but you're trying to see. You do have power in it. We have power in our lives. We have power in our lives because we get to make the choices in our lives, right? We're not really a victim to anything, but we can be if we don't make the right choices. So it's empowering. You only get to this place of forgiveness and letting it go once you've figured that stuff out. And that's the process that you're in at the moment. And you're already in it at the moment. And we can't wave a magic wand and just forgive them and then it's gone. Because then we don't learn our lesson, right? We'll do the same thing over again until we see our part in it. That's why victimhood mentality is so toxic to us, because it's like saying, well, I've got no power. I've got no power in my life. I've got no choice over this. And thing is, you do, but we might not see that we have a choice. Yeah. Like you might not see that you have a choice to send someone away so that they can't dump the stuff on me yesterday when I was doing readings. Or you might not think that you have a choice to not send that email back to a family member, or answer the phone to them or something like that. But we do, we have that choice. Create and include. Who do you let into your life and who do you not let into your life? That is the question. Create that. So you're creating your life depending on who you're letting into your life and who you're not. The signs are there. But sometimes we can think that everyone's like that, or that there's no choice. But there is a choice, you see, there is a choice. And I'll tell you what, when you're choosing good things for yourself, when we're talking about relationships now, if you're choosing good for yourself, it is not the fantasy. It's not fast. It's not love bomby. It's not all of those things that are so attractive to us. It's like food. Yes, cake tastes very nice, but it's really bad for your health. If you want to have health, you eat healthy food. It's not attractive. It does taste good once you get off the sugar, but it's very hard to get off the sugar. I still have my 85% chocolate and granola, which is kind of sugary too. It's not, we don't get the hit from it. So when we're making healthy choices in relationships, you don't get that hit from it. It's slower, it's more real, but you don't get a hit from it. We get to create who we include. So creating boundaries, creating a new set hoops for them to jump through. People should earn your trust, earn the right to a place in your life. Be slower at letting them in, whether it's friends or romantics. Be slower in letting them in. Let them prove themselves to you first. Show you healthy things, and it's not going to be fireworks. Fireworks are scary. Those things that appeal, the drug, the sugar, the fireworks, the love bombing, those are negative traits. Be wary of your ego responses to the hits, the excitement hits that you get from people. That's what I'm feeling. So yeah, avoid, and while you have this space, figure it out. What red flags do they show you? How can you be choosing different people and not like that? So you might think, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll avoid all people with negative traits. No, you won't. For starters, you won't. But I'll avoid all people with negative traits and I'll just choose people with positive traits. That's a dead set way of being with a narcissist. If you believe that law of attraction stuff, I got heavily into it and then ended up with a narcissist. Because you'll meet a narcissist and you're like, this is just positive. No, it's not real. I wonder how many people have got heavily into the law of attraction like I did and ended up with a narcissist as a result of it. You don't want that. You want real people that have that. They have the mix, yeah, and it's not that exciting. But it's real. Hello, Water Empress. So confused. I thought this guy was the one. There you go. That's some of that fantasy. If you want a mini read, check out the pinned comment up top of the live chat. That tells you how to do it. There's a PayPal link in there for donations. And if you've got a question for your higher self after you've done your donation, you can use Super Chat, Super Sticker in here as well. After you've done it, then put a capital Q at the start of your comment so I can find your question for your reading easily. Heartbreak. Let's get some more cards out here to get more clarity on all of this. So what we've got is having a bigger perspective, bird's eye view on things now with more boundaries. There's chaos and conflict here. People's hearts being ripped out by people that just do not give a shit. So whether they are narcissists or whatever, there's some cold people that we've let in our lives. The masculine here, King of Wands, he's decided to turn his back on this one. It broke his heart. And she doesn't care. And is moving forward toward what it is that he wants now. Heart on fire. Ace of Cups, our heart overflowing. And Nine of Swords, there's your balance. It's not always going to be heart overflowing. You're going to have that, but you're also going to have the nightmare too. This is that duality, right? We want the Ace of Cups, don't we? And everything that I've been saying is, are you sure you want the Ace of Cups? Because if you want the Ace of Cups, you're going to get the Nine of Swords. Do you want to be on that roller coaster, or do you want to even it out? You actually want to even it out. So stop wanting the Ace of Cups then. Stop wanting the Ace of Cups so much, because the Ace of Cups is balanced up by the Nine of Swords. We don't really want the Ace of Cups. We want a healthy relationship, yes. But we don't want Disney fantasy because it's not real. We'll end up with a narcissist if we do that. Then we've got the meditation card, which is all about having a groundedness in our thoughts, so being more in our minds than we are in our feelings. Because if you're in your feelings, you're wanting the Ace of Cups, right? You want to be on the roller coaster. Making good choices for ourselves, which we know. We use a pendulum. We use these red and green crystals as well. You can do. But really we know. We know if we get the answer that we want or not, don't we? So really we know our answers. Then we've got the Nine of Fire, Pluto, saying the inevitable is going to happen. We can either be blind to it and say, no, I'm a victim to it. They should have been this, they should have been that. Or we can prepare for it. And that's what we're being asked to do, is prepare for it. Then we've got all of these elementals here saying that there's this influx of all of these energies, air energy for sure, water energy, emotions, thoughts, fire too, passion. And the Mother of Fire is saying nurture that passion. The I Ching here, the Seven of Air, is saying, what was that saying? There's always going to be a balance. There's always going to be duality, and we need to be aware of that. You can have slight duality. You can have huge duality. Up to you. We've got new romantic relationship here. by changing our minds about it. A lot of thought processes going on here. Two of Swords again about choices. Seven of Chalices again about choices. We've got so many choices to make. We've got to make it real wisely now. The World, deciding what we want to complete and what we want to start, the cycles. Ace of Swords, getting so much clarity on that. Four of Swords, resting, recuperating, so we get the clarity on that. So actually taking time out to do this work, to ponder it, to see our way forward, especially around the emotions. Okay, so if I really want, I don't want the extremes. I don't want the Ace of Cups because that's going to give me the other extreme because there's always duality. I want any more even keel. So if I have an even keel life, then I'm not going to have those extremes. I'm not going to have the extremes of great. So I've got to stop being a junkie for it. Love junkie, whatever kind of hits you're getting. As hits that I used to get from my man as well. What's that? Heartbreak. Because something can grow to be something really big here, but there's so much unknown about it, especially about the emotions. So do we really want that even keel emotion thing, or is that going to be boring to us? Do you want some more drama? We've got heartbreak to contend with. So, the first card out was the immortality card. Something just won't die, and it's natural that it won't. So what's that saying? It's saying that our ego is always going to try and pull us back into a rich emotional experience of life, calling forth the waves. We want to feel, yes, we do. And we can. You can get fine-tuned to your emotions so much that you do feel, but it's not the extremes anymore. Well, you're going to miss the extremes, I'm telling you. I was yesterday. I'm like, damn it, I'm not feeling extreme about him. I wanted to. Heartbreak communication. Heartbreak and communication. Tell us more. Gift. I don't know what this is about. It's not making any sense to me. I'm going to put them away. Can you tell us more about this? Yes. This is better. Reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Give yourself some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Very good message. You think you're going to have to accept no partner ever and be good with it? Because I want to be attracted to the person, have a lot in common, yeah. You hate sports, fishing, bills. Well, yeah, focus on what it is that you are, that you do like, do that stuff. You'll find someone that likes that stuff in those same places eventually. Cars. What kind of guys are you been around, Lisa? And a message for you. I'm thinking of you this very moment. Your love fills me with light. I love you. Thinking, 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 thinking. Both thinking of each other and trying to make decisions. There's all kinds of men out there. Just decide what it is that you want. Fishing. I remember the few times that I've been on Tinder, when the profile pictures, it's like them holding a fish. Like, they think that's attractive. That's like, this is me in my power moment. I'm going to put that as my profile picture, me and a big fish that I caught. I'm going to be really impressed with that. Some women would be, right? But it just makes me laugh. Like, really? That's what you think makes you attractive? A big fish? Some women would love that. Not me. Villain. Although I do like it, like if they can fit, like I like a guy that can do the practical things, fix stuff and catch food and stuff like that. That's good. Grow food, catch it, whatever. That's good. But someone that's like really big into it and like gaining their self-esteem through it, not so much. So yeah, if you're on Tinder, I guess you would, well, you'd think that only a certain kind of person exists, right? But no. We've got good timing. Oh, villain. I'm kind of just washed over that. Villain. Scary people. This is about being scared. This is about being scared. Scared of being abused or scared that there's something really wrong with somebody. It's that hypervigilance that we get when we've been abused and been in those negative relationships, had those negative experiences, then we get scared. Hunting. See, I'd like a hunter. Good timing. I like someone with survival skills. Good timing. So, paths crossing at the perfect time. Perfect time for what? Perfect time for next phase of growth. Because our lives are all about us. The universe doesn't really care if we have money, if we have that relationship. It really doesn't. It does want us to be happy, but it's more about our growth. And you see, and then if you focus on your growth, that's that grace that I was talking about. That's when you get in the flow, and then it appears like the universe wants money and relationships and stuff for you, because you're getting that grace. The cynicism here as well, and we've got to, it's just natural, isn't it, to get really cynical about this, about love as well, with what we've been through. We've not got to do that. Be too hypervigilant about the villains kind of thing, expecting them all to be villains and narcissists and stuff like that. And not be too cynical about it too. Take a risk. There's a risk that needs to be taken, someone moving toward another. So if both are in this kind of an energy, it's unlikely that that risk is going to be taken. We can do this for too long, is what they're saying. So we could do this for too long. False twins. Yeah, false twins, I think a lot of people have got this Disney fantasy idea about twin flames and soulmate relationships, that there's just this one person out there for you. And if you just meet that one right person, then everything will be fine. And it's just not true. There's going to be duality in everyone. We cause duality for people. We're not all positive for people. What should we be? They're not going to be all positive for us. It's going to be real. And that whole concept can be so damaging, right? This is why my guides have been saying, it's not that many of them really, because what they deem as being twins is two people that are at a very high state of mastering themselves, coming together together after healing their own stuff, and then coming together to create a new way of being in relationship, to master that, how to be in relationship in a whole new way, beyond any relationships that have been around already on this planet so far. So there really are very few, and it's certainly not those people that are susceptible to the Disney twin flame concept of but just meet my twin flame, then everything will be fine. It's like, well, no, there's so much more to it than that. You've got to be healed. You've got to be masterful of yourself. You've got to have your own stuff going on. Two whole people coming together, that's how a good relationship happens. Twin flame and I, twin flame or not, that's how the good stuff, a good relationship will happen. We've got to have mastered that. And relationship skills, very important. There's so much more to it. And that fantasy, Disney fantasy about twin flames is just not helpful at all. The other thing is roommates as well, teaching about twin flames. Twin flame teachers, why would people be teaching about that? Well, we teach what we need to learn ourselves, right, in healing. So let's ask the question, what wounds would somebody have to want to teach that twin flame stuff? You might have a lot of relationship wounds. You might be wound mates, two people together, wound mates, same traumas, victim of similar traumas kind of thing, who come together and share wounds and say, I had this terrible thing happen to me, like, me too, and these terrible people, and oh my God, someone understands me at last. We're both victims in the same way. And it's kind of healing relationship, but it kind of isn't too, because you can just get stuck in that. Some of those teaching about twin flames, that's not what twin flames are. You gotta watch who you're learning from. Because, and ask yourself, okay, someone's teaching this because they've got it going on in themselves. What is it they're teaching, and why would they be teaching that? Should I be listening to them, or are they actually taking me backwards from where I'm at now? Do I know more than this already? Can I know more than this already? Careful who you learn from. There we go, that's today. What was that all about? Well, it was about choices and about thinking about things. Okay. Thanks everyone for coming along. Wow, that was over 2 hours. Thanks for your donations for the mini reads. Very much appreciated. Let's do this all over again in 2 days' time on Friday, shall we? Have a good one, everybody. Check out my YouTube channel later on today. Though in about, I don't know, 10 hours, 9 hours, 10 hours or something, I will put a pick a card read up. Love read. Don't know what I'm doing it on yet. Just doesn't have a fish. Yeah, and watch out for men holding up the fish. Big fish that they've caught. See you on Friday, everyone. Have a good one.